Okay, let's start with the Hyper Beam this time, because, Generation 1 and a Hyper Beam, that's like something you have to do, it's mandatory. Well, hello everybody, it's Joe and welcome back to Pokémon Yellow Bucketching Challenge. We are currently in Pokémon Mansion, which used to be some research facility. Yeah, that's the word, facility. And this journal hints that Mewtwo was created here from new DNA, but we went there for secret key, so we can get to Lane, who is gym leader here in Cinnabar Island. And I'm sort of afraid of Blaine, because fire Pokemon are not exactly something our bug team can deal with effectively. But as you can see, Hyper Beam really pays off. So what I'm using here is like Sword Dance to boost my attack, and after that Hyper Beam just wrecks through everything. And the way Hyper Beam works in Generation 1 is that if you KO the Pokemon, you don't have to wait the turn to recharge, so you can just spam it, but once somebody survives, you are in trouble. But anyway, let's teach Bud Hyper Beam, because the more Hyper Beams the better. And now we have to teleport a little bit around Sabrina's gym. But this does not seem to be the way, so show me the way. Oh, so after few attempts of teleporting around, we finally reach Sabrina, and we are dealing with Abra. And it seems like we can just go straight to Hyper Beams with these, because defense on Psychic Pokemon, namely Abra, Kadabra and Alakazam, is nothing to write home about, but combination of Alakazam level 50 and Reflect almost cost Bud his life, but luckily it survived with 43 HP. And we are only one badge away from getting all the 8 badges. So let's head to Viridian City. And this time we are not teleporting around, but we will have to spin around a little. So I believe we can spin up here and down there and spin and spin and spin. But finally we have reached Giovanni. And this might be slightly difficult fight, because levels are going to be slightly interesting, but let's see what Mario thinks about that. So, pretty good damage from Mega Drain. Let's finish that with Slash. Okay, that went pretty good. Persian versus Bud. Let's try Hyper Beam for the good measure. Oh, it survived, so that's the risk of using Hyper Beam when you are not boosted. But Bud was able to deal with Persian quite nicely. And after this, Mario can dig through the rest of the team, I believe, because Dig is like 100 power. Oh, Nidoking survive. Pretty strong Nidoking. Because Nidoking and Nidoqueen are weak to Earth moves, and Dig is like 200 power against them. And right on one Mega Drain. Like, Mega Drain is only 40 power in Generation 1, so it's 60 with Stab, so 120 if you account for weakness on Raiden. Oh, it's actually quadruple, so it's like 240 power on Raiden. Okay, that's pretty good. Anyway, it's time to teach Alpha some moves, because we were sort of neglecting Alpha for the most of the run. Like, since I've got Romeo in the team, Alpha was pretty much retired. So we've done a little bit of leveling around Cinnabar Island on the Tentacles, and we've also leveled a little bit in the Seafoam Islands, which might be a better location because the average levels were sort of higher than in the open sea. So let's see what our rival thinks of our levels. So Sandslash versus Alpha. Let's try to use sleep power for good measure. But we are also poisoned, which is not too terrible, I guess. So let's just psychic through this Sandslash few times. Okay, it's going to take some time, it seems. Okay, good job, Alpha. Good effort. So execute. I'm afraid Alpha won't be able to do much damage here. So I'm going to try. Critical hit and so little damage. Okay, time to get the hell out of there. And finish that with Slash on butt. Alpha level 40. We will need to do some serious leveling on the team before we face off the Elite Four. But for now, Hyper Beams and Romeo should be able to deal with the rest of the team. So let's go with Psychic here. And that was pretty good damage, but it was also critical hit, so I think I will really need to level up a little bit more. Terrence Hyper Beam, that works pretty well on Kedabra, as we've seen with Sabrina. And Jolteon, let's see how the... Okay, Jolteon survived, and that Thunder is going to hurt. Critical hit, it's one hit KO. So let's try to... Okay, we are not going to finish that with Alpha. This Jolteon just wrecks my team. So it's time for Mario to finish this off with Slash. And level 50 level 52 for Mario. Okay. The fight was pretty smooth, but the Jolteon gave me some troubles. But anyway, we've showed our badges to all these people standing around waiting to check the badges. We've also did with some random Charizard. Also, what would you expect other than Hyper Beam here? So we've also found some boulders or huge rocks around, and we had to use strength or our trusty gondola to move these around. Like, it must be pretty difficult for the Lapras to move these rocks around. We've also found this weird fiery bird deep in the cave, in the Victory Road. So we've decided to run around it a little and then just run away before it burns our bug team to the ground. After all this business done, we finally reached the end of Victory Road, and that led to Indigo Plateau. So let's heal up and think real hard. How many levels do I need to grind to succeed versus the Elite Four? I also need some healing items to be sure, but let's see how that goes. And we will see the fight against Elite Four in the next episode. So I will grind a little in the meantime, so you know, the preparation and all the stuff. So with all that said, thank you for joining me on this almost final episode of Bug Catching Challenge, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.